Let me start. Yesterday I explained what all comes under web UI, and here usually I explain here web UI. Under that, what all comes under web UI, and here we discussed. So we started discussion on HTML4. Usually I'll explain HTML4, CSS2, then third one is on JavaScript. Fourth one is HTML5, then fifth one is CSS3, then sixth one is Ajax, so jQuery, then seventh one is Ajax, then eighth one is lessons as, ninth one is responsive design, 10th one is project. So usually I'll explain these all the content in our course. Okay, to cover this content, usually I'll take it's in 40 to 45 hours of sessions. So once check the drive, I uploaded all the recordings other than 17 September, remaining all recordings are uploaded. Once check it, if I miss any of the file, let me know. Here 6 I'll send my hi mail from my mail ID. You can contact to my mail ID for any doubts or any discussions. You can do with the mail. By that I can clarify your doubts in the class itself. Okay, here we started our HTML4. HTML is nothing but it's a hypertext markup language. It's a hypertext markup language. Under this, it's a hypertext markup language. Under this, we have two types of tags. It is completely a tag-based programming tag. Mail I'll send you anyway, but if you want, I can share here also. gmail.com. Yeah, you can contact me. Okay, no problem. You can understand what I am teaching. So these all the content, but you try to attend my previous recordings. You contact organizer. By that you will get my previous class recordings. You try to listen that recordings. By that it will be easy. But anyway, you can follow today's session. Okay. Here HTML web UI is nothing but it's a front end. So we are creating a front page of the application using web UI. So first topic of our course is HTML. HTML is nothing but it's a hypertext markup language. Under this we have two types of tags. One is paired tag. Here one is paired tag, another one is unpaired tag. So paired tag and unpaired tag, two types of tags we have. So paired tag is nothing but once we start the tag, we have to end the tag like this. This one we call it as paired tag. And then unpaired tag is nothing but here we can write here unpaired tag. So the tag name we write it here. Here itself will close the tag like this. This way, if you close it, we call it as unpaired tag. So we can write two types of tags. We can write two types of tags in HTML. And so one is paired tag, another one is unpaired tag. So mainly HTML gives you content of the web page. Total images, total content of the web page we can create it by using HTML. HTML will give you content or a structure of the web page. Here under this, this HTML is completely a tag-based programming. Tag is nothing but instruction to the browser. We can give instruction to the browser in the form of tags. So these tags are divided into, yesterday I explained about the paired tag and unpaired tag. Unpaired tag, two types of tags we can write it. Paired tag means once we start the tag, So here we are writing that pair tag and unpaired tag, we can write it. And block elements and inline elements, block elements are nothing but if we write this type of tags, it always starts in a new line of the HTML page, new line of a web page. So these elements will start in the new line of the web page. So here itself we can write it here, that new line of the web page we can start our application. So in this time, new line means if I'm writing here h1 tag, this h1 tag will start like this. Similar way we can write it here h2 tag. So h2 tag will write like this. So like that we can write here h1 to h6 tags. These all tags we write it like this. h1 to h6 tags, these all tags will start from new line of the HTML page. These all tags will start in a new line of the HTML page. Similar way we can write it here paragraph tag. So P tag is used for paragraph. So this is also will start it in a new line of the HTML page. Even if you write here table tag also starts it in a new line of the HTML page. Okay, this way we can write it. Here we can write it here block elements and inline elements. Block elements are nothing but we can write that block elements like this. Block elements and inline elements we can write it. Block elements are nothing but these all will start it in a same new line of the HTML page. Inline elements will start it in a same line of the HTML page. Same line. So inline elements are nothing but inline elements will start it in a same line of the HTML page. Same line of web page. Same line of the web page we can write it with this inline elements. This inline elements we can start it like if you write here paragraph tag, if you write here paragraph tag or h1 tag, sorry, I tag is used for italic content, and U tag is also used for underline content, and P tag is used for paragraph content. Like that we can write, sorry, P tag is not used here. Span tag is used for highlighting the content, and the EM tag also used for italic content. So yesterday we discussed this. So B tag is used for bold content, and the strong tag is used for bold content. These all we discussed in the previous session. These all are inline elements. These inline elements always starts in the same line. So it will continue in the same line of the HTML page. So yesterday we discussed that how block elements, inline elements works. See, open recent. Yeah, here inline elements and block elements. Under this, here we discussed here. So first HTML page we discussed on how we can write h1 to h6 tags and paragraph tag. So inside the body tag HTML page we start with a doc type. Doc type under HTML4 level we write a very big doc type like this. But nowadays we are not writing this much lengthy doc type. Doc type is very simple, doc type HTML. This gives the information. This is one of the tag. This gives the information to the browser. We are writing a HTML document. Under this we can write it here, head start and close, style start and close, and script start and close, like that you can write. Here inside the body tag we are writing here h1 to h6 tags and the paragraph tag. Paragraph tag, like that we can write it. Here h1 tag, h2 tag, like that we can write it here, all the list of tags. Here h1 tag, paragraph tag, I tag, italic tag, these all tags comes under this. Here I'm writing here h1 to h6 tags, h1 tag, h2 tag, h3 tag, like that we can write it here, all the tags. So if we write this type of tags, Here paragraph H1 tag, little bigger content, paragraph tag, little smaller content, and B tag. Like that we can display all the contents. H1 to H6 tags we can display like this, and paragraph tag and all these things also we can display. Here block elements are nothing but these all elements H1 to H6 all block elements. It will continue in the new line of the HTML page. Inline elements means here if you write this inline elements I tag H1 to H6 and paragraph all will be block elements. How many paragraphs you will write? Those many paragraphs it will start it in a new line of the HTML page. So it will start it in a new line of the HTML page. But if you write here I tag or B tag or EM tag or a strong tag, these all tags will start it in a same line of the web page. It won't create any new line. It will continue in the same line of the web page. See here, this is one heading, this is one paragraph, another paragraph, and third paragraph. In that third paragraph, only first 4 words we are writing in italic tag. Then second 3 words we are writing in bold tag. So third one, from here to here we are writing in EM tag. See, first one is italic, second one is also italic. And this one is a bold tag, and this one is by strong tag. Here we can write it here, strong tag, bold tag. Like that we can write it here, this paragraph, this particular lines from here to here it is showing little bigger content because of big tag. And here this one is the strikeouted content, strike tag. And here we are writing here lorem something. By that this particular paragraph it's showing in the red color content. Red color content we can show like this. And here we are displaying here that yellow color content. That background yellow color and this red color content is because of span tag. If I write the span tag and color red, if I write the style property, then I can highlight it. This content, whatever it is showing here yellow color, this is because of mark tag. And here we are writing some content. After that BR tag, if you write it, it will go to break line. BR means it will go to the new line. Under that I am writing one HR tag. HR tag is used for horizontal line. HR tag is unpaired tag. It is used for horizontal line. So if you write only HR tag, it starts from left corner to right corner. Complete 100% width it will take. Whatever the size of your screen, based on your screen size, it will take 100% of your web page. Here, if you see here, this width of 50% of width, if you write it, see here, HR tag width of 50%. So by that it shows that HR tag width will be only 50% of my screen, and the color will be red and size will be 10. So within this here, because of BR tag it's breaking that line. HR tag gives you horizontal line. Then this HR tag we are writing here with a percentage. So with some width of 50% and color red and the size 10. So by that we can display that color size like this. So this way we can display our output. Because of that HR tag, here width, the color, size we can show like this. So this is about the HR tag and width and color and size. So width of 50%, color red and the size 10. So this way we can show to the user. This is the way generally we can show our output to the user. Okay. Yes, am I clear for you up to now? By that I'll start new tag. Any doubt up to now? Who joined today? Who joined previous classes? For all of them. Any doubts? Yes.
Hello, madam. Good morning. This is
Yes.
Homrat. Madam, in the line number 29, in the HR tag, you have used size equal to 10. Means what is the purpose of size here?
Size 10 I'm writing, right? See here the thickness. The thickness of your horizontal line is 10. If you write here 30, it will give you a bigger one. thickness. See here,
Okay.
thickness of the size, and width is 50% of my screen. For entire area, it is taking middle 50%. If you write here 90% of your screen, so it will occupy almost 90% from the center.
But madam, here it is taking the middle position. If I want to
Yes.
start from left side with 50% and length, then how it is possible?
We write CSS for that.
Sorry, madam.
CSS, we'll write the CSS for that. In the next topic, we'll discuss CSS. By that, we can understand how we can start left, how we can start right, how we can place center, those all. By default, it takes center position.
Okay. Okay, madam. Thank you. Madam, could you please send me the last video?
Videos, I'm not able to send. Just once contact the organizer, she will share you all the previous recordings.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Here we are writing here block elements and inline elements and pair tags and unpair tag. So body tag and these all body tag, HTML tag, start and close, we write like this. This is one example for pair tag. And body tag also we write it like this. So start and close of the body, we write like this. And here itself we can write it here pair tag. Pair tag means here if you write the paragraph tag, so we'll close the unpair tag is nothing but if you write BR tag, we'll close here. HR tag will close here. So like this, if you write it, then we call it as BR tag, HR tags are the examples for the unpaired tag. Like that, we have so many tags under pair tag and unpaired tag. And basically, HTML tags will start with your doc type. So for any web page, if you see, so it always starts with your doc type. So even if you don't write, also browser will give you these all the tags. Here HTML root tag we write like this, and here itself will close the HTML head tag, head close, close head. Then here itself we can write the body tag close. So we are writing here head start and close and body start and close. Here inside this head we can write our HTML head section, and inside the body we can write our HTML body tag. So we can write here head tag and body tag for the HTML application like this. So now here HTML head tag and HTML body tag we can write it like this. So now in this here HTML head and HTML body we can write it like this. This is what here one.html something, you can run it with the browser. I'm using here Visual Studio Code for writing the program. I can write like this. I'm moving on to the next tag of our HTML4 image tag. IMG SRC is used for source address of that image, and it is used for displaying images. SRC is an attribute of the image tag. So for any tag set, if you write few attributes are specific to few tags and few attributes are common to few tags. Here attributes. So image tag attribute is SRC. Like that we can write image tag is unpaired tag and it is an inline element. Inline element in the sense it always starts in the same line of the HTML page. So we can write it here 1.jpg, and the width of that image you can write it with 200 pixels or 400 pixels. Then height of that image also you can write it like this, and ALT is nothing but it's alternative text for that application, and that for you image here flower image, if you want you can write it like this. So here under this width, height, ALT all are the attributes of this image tag. Here SRC is also a attribute, width is also a attribute, height is also attribute, and ALT is also the attribute of image tag. So this way we can write that image tag. So image tag, we can write it like this. So image tag is used for displaying the images, attributes of images. We can write it like this. Okay. SRC, width, height, ALT. Yes.
Madam, whether attributes and properties both are same or what?
Properties means same. Properties generally we call it in CSS. Here we call it as attributes.
Okay, thank you.
Attributes are nothing but special for a few tags. We have some attributes, specially for tags, and for commonly for all the tags we have some other attributes. So we can write our attributes in both the ways. So image tag SRC you can write it, and width and height also you can write it. So these two ways we can write here these attributes. So next one here, we are writing image tag attribute, and width attribute, and height attribute. All these things you can write it. And the next one is here, that image source address. So that image img source address, it is one unpaired tag and it is one inline element. Inline means if you write multiple images, depends on the size of the image, it will continue in the same line. If the image is bigger size, it will occupy from left to right. If it is a smaller one, all images will come side by side. So this source address, you not only the name of the image, you can write any location, absolute location of your image also you can write it. And you can write that image address from the Google location. From any URL also you can copy any location of that image. So if you have any 2.jpg or 3.jpg, that image location also you can copy it. This way we can write that image tag. So I'm writing here image tag. Under that image tag we can write it here. So this is one image tag. Under that image tag we can write our application like this. Here image tag, I'm writing here that image tag attributes, and all images we can write it like this. Here doc type HTML head and body we can write it like this. Similar way, here I'm able to write my image tag, and that image tag attributes we can write it like this. So the next one here, I'm able to write image tag, and that attributes we are writing like this. Similar way, we can write it here. H1 to H6 tags, we can write it for displaying images and all. H1 to H6 tags, image tag. So first execute some tags of HTML. I'll explain some of the tags under this. Control yes. Some tags .html. Here we start with a doc type. HTML is a root tag. Here we can write it here head, and here we can write it that body tag. Here under this head we can write, so as of now we don't know. Here I'm writing here image src. That image I'm writing here. If I have any image 1.jpg here itself, I can write it. If the image is in some other location, you can write that src with the other location of that image. You can paste it, copy that location. And image src, any URL of that image also you can paste it. If you write that image tag, so image src, if you write either 1.jpg or 2.jpg, here if you write here width of that image is 200 pixels, then height of that image is also 200 pixels. So we can write like this, width and height, then width, height, and then ALT. ALT is nothing but alternative text for the application. So we can display that alternative text for the application. So here I'm writing here ALT tag. So now if I write my absolute path and copy that any URL. So here this one image, inspect element, copy that URL and use it for our image. See here, this is one anchor tag. Under that they are using one div tag header logo. Okay. So this is one header logo container. Okay, they are using like background image. See, this is one image address. So you can copy this SVG image. Control C, copy. That SVG image I'm using here with the external URL. And I want to use my local address of that image. Pictures, saved pictures. Under that I have 1.jpg, 2.jpg, like that we have. So 1.jpg image I have. So that image address, local address, I can use it here. In this application, I can use that image. And I want to copy that 1.jpg or a 2.jpg image, Control C, copy, and paste it into 6 AM. This one, paste it. So here I'm writing here 2.jpg like that. So now I want to write. Yeah. So here I can write it here like this. Yeah. I can write it like this here, H1 to H6 tanks, all the tanks you can write it. Now, whenever I run my program, see, run it with a live server. See, this live server, it's showing that SVG image, but remaining all images, it is not showing. So here we have 2.jpg, 2, and this one is also 2.jpg. See here, it is not showing that local image, but it's showing that URL. It's showing my current location file. Current location file it is showing, and this one it is not showing. So when you run it with, rather than live server, just run it with the default browser. See here, it's showing all 4 images. If you run it with your local default browser, you can show your current location of your system. But live server current location is not detecting. See, drives, pictures, saved pictures, in that we have one image, right? That image we cannot find it if we write it with live server, if you run it with the live server. That live server is not showing that 1.jpg image. Why? Because it is running under one IP address. So it is not detecting my local file. But if I run it with a normal browser, default
Hello,
browser,
madam. Your voice
yes,
is very low.
very low.
Hi, ma'am.
Oh,
Your
oh,
voice become low, madam.
oh, okay, okay. I'll talk loudly. Yeah. Here, if I write it with a local URL, local file name, if I write it, that
Madam,
local file,
still, ma'am, 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 still
yes,
your voice is low, madam.
still voice. Is it low for all? It's fine for
No.
me. Samrat, you try to increase your volume.
Yes, madam. I have increased to full.
Full. So it's fine for all. Only for you it is low.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, yeah. Here, if we use the local address, local URL, if we use it, this time only local URL time only, it will show that ID. It will show that application like that. So if it uses the local address, then local address time only, it will show that output. It will show that execution of the output is with the local address. So here I'm using here local address. That because of this local address, it is showing that my local file, it is not able to show you in the live server. But if I run it with a default browser, I can show that output. This is about the local and outside and inside, all these way you can show your output. Here, next one here, we are writing here image src. So we are displaying here all images, all multiple images we can show to the user. This way we can show our
Ma'am,
output. Yes.
ma'am, no, I didn't understand the last point. Means you have run 2 times. So when you run for the first time, then the third picture was not getting displayed. But when
Here,
you open with
if you
live,
run it with
yes,
live server will run with 1 port number. So here third image I'm writing my local URL. local address of my computer. That's why that live server is not detecting this image. So if you run it with a default browser, normally if you run it with a default browser, it can detect that file. Clear?
Yes, madam.
So if you run it with a live server, you cannot see that image. If you run it with a default browser, you can see that image. So that is what I'm explaining. Clear?
Madam, what is mean by local server? Means, madam, what is local server?
It's not a local server, it's a live server. Live
Sorry,
server.
madam. Live server means, madam.
Live server, normally it is used to, without refreshing the page. If you want to execute your output, you can install live server in Visual Studio Code. Externally, you have to install it. So with that, it will install that live server in the application. Yeah. Here we can run it with a live server. So this live server is used for displaying that output. So in this time, live server, if you run it with a live server, that live server, it won't take your absolute path of your application. But if you run it with a normal browser, by that it will execute our output. So it will give you, means only live server, it cannot find that current location of your file. So remaining all normal applications can execute your applications output. So this is about the live server and normal execution. Okay, so this is about live and normal execution. Now I'll show you how to execute our application with how to execute our output with how to execute our output with normal browser and live server. Live server, we can add it in the extensions. See here in this live server extensions, you can see here install and uninstall. By that it will add this this one to our application. Live server is installing, so that's why it will install that particular live server. Just go to the extension, search for live server, you can see one install button, just click on it and write your program in your folders. When you right click on it, you can see that when you right click on that application, you can see that output. Just if you right click on it, you can run it with the live server option, you can see here. Default browser, otherwise other browsers are nothing but default browser means it will continue execution in the current browser whatever you use, and other browser means it will run our application with the other browser, other browsers, Chrome, what you have installed in your system, Microsoft Edge, Opera, Mozilla Firefox, any other browsers, it can execute it. This is the way generally we can show our output. Okay, this is about the HTML. Under that HTML we can execute our output like this. So next one, here I can show my output like this. Here live server execution, and it's we can create our execution like this. So now H1 tag, H1 to H6 tags, and because of this all these tags, we can show our output block and inline elements, some tags. Suppose if the image is missing in my location, I have 2.jpg, but I'm writing here 22.jpg. Save it. Now if you run this program, that image will be missed in that location. But even though it's giving flower means it is, but here this is because of ALT. ALT is nothing but it's alternative text for the user. And these all are inline elements. See here all images are continuing in the same line. It is not going to new line. These all are inline elements. And here if the image is missing here, so what is the image is missing, that information I can, suppose if it is a toy image, so I can give toy here. So by that if I refresh it, see here toy it is showing. If I run it with a normal browser, I have to refresh for every changes. But if I run it with a live server, automatically it is showing here toy. My local address image, it is not showing. Why taking this much gap? Why? Because for every image we are giving 200 pixels of width. No? So that's why it is giving this much gap. Or otherwise, what is the size of that image? That much size it will take. Is it clear? Samrat?
Yes, madam.
So normally, if you run it with a live server, you have to refresh every time. Sorry, other browsers refresh every time. Live server, no need to refresh. That is the advantage. All changes you can make it, you can directly check your browser, it will affect. Clear?
Madam, here we have not defined the size here for this fourth image, right, madam? But
Fourth image. Yeah. What is the actual size? That size only it is showing.
But
See?
still, can we
This is
go ahead
actual.
and define? Yeah.
If you don't define the size, see here we have very bigger image. The 3.jpg is a very big size image. Here I have to refresh it. See here, the 3.jpg is this much. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thanks.
This is the one complete image. Yeah. This way we can show any image, you can use it, any image you can display to the user. By that you can show your output. If the image is missing in that location, you can write one attribute. Commonly you have to write ALT attribute for images. So by that it will show that ALT alternative text for the user. So this alternative ALT text will show for our application. By that it will execute. Image tag is used for displaying images on the HTML page. So image tag is mainly used for image tag is used for images. Displaying images we can show to the user because of this image tag. Similar way we can write it here, image tag, and like that we can write all the tags. Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, the second image, are you mentioning width size?
Nothing, no size. I'm not writing any size for that image. What is the actual size? That size only it is showing.
So, so how it is taking that big width, because it is a very small image that we are displaying in the browser.
That is only the size of that image. The size of the image is that much only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, could you please go to the browser?
Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
here for the second image, the size is very small here. It is showing for the second image, but still it is taking bigger width.
What? What is your doubt?
For the second one, the image size is small. Still, it is taking uh, the width
That is the
size.
width of that image. Width of that image. Actual width of that image.
Okay.
So how much image? See? Can you see that image?
Okay. Yes, madam.
Okay. So because of that, it is showing like that. This way we can show our output. So these all the way we can display our output and we can show our output for the user.
And can we increase the size of the image also for the second one?
Here we are writing, right? Width 200, height 200. You can write your wish, 500, 800. So any size you can write it.
Okay. For the second one also we can write it like this one.
Everything sake you can write it.
Okay.
For
Thanks.
everything you can write it. Okay. So as of now we discussed one image tag and how to write images and all we discussed. Next session will continue on inspect element. When you right click on inspect element time, you can see that image source address. Okay. And in the next session I'm going to show you marquee tag, anchor tag, like that. Remaining few more tags we'll discuss. So we discussed up to now what is inline elements and what is block elements. Under this inline block only we have some more tags, and these all tags are used for displaying content and displaying images on the web page. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow for the continuation. Thank you.